Hey everyone, how's it going? This is your friend Venkat Ramakrishnan at Software Testing and Quality Talks, bringing you the next episode on software testing and quality. In this video, I'm going to talk about implicit requirements and how to handle them. Let's get started. Of late, there has been a lot of buzz about implicit requirements and people having challenges testing them. Let's first look at what implicit requirements are. Implicit requirements are inherent expectations about a product or a service. They are assumed system behaviors which are basic in nature. More often than not, they are not met, resulting in unexpected system behaviors. For example, if you are developing a simple calculator app, the expectation is that when you press the cancel button, it doesn't erase the memory content in addition to erasing the display content. In case of a social media app, you would expect that after removing a post, that post does not appear in the list of posts saved somewhere like bookmarks. If things like this happen, it's trouble. But more often than not, these expectations are not explicitly specified in the requirement specifications. And the target audience assume that the expected behavior will be that way. But to our surprise, the software behavior will not be as per our expectation, and hence it is important to test them. But how would you test them if that case is not documented somewhere? Not all test ideas occur all the time to any tester, and test ideas differ from tester to tester. So isn't it important to have the tests related to these implicit expectations documented somewhere? Testing implicit requirements is kind of very involved because implicit expectations are not written down explicitly in the requirements specifications. It's the job of the test team to extract those implicit requirements, ask questions to the team that's preparing the requirements, typically the business analyst team and the product owner, about the behaviors, get the answers for them, and make the requirements explicit. Towards this, the test team has to prepare themselves on how to identify the implicit things so that they can question about them. The test team needs to do a number of things to prepare themselves to identify implicit expectations. First of all, they need to be well versed with the business context in which they are working in, the industry and the domain that they are working in, as well as how the product addresses a specific gap in the business space that they are in. By doing this, the team will be able to analyze the product from the business and industry angles and see if there are any implicit expectations from the industry. Those expectations have to be made explicit in the requirement specification so that there is no ambiguity, misunderstanding, or assumptions. Second, the team needs to be well versed with the technology that they are working with. This includes the target systems, the operating systems, hardware and software configurations, deployment infrastructure, and all the components of application architecture. Third, the test team needs to be aware of the target audience who will be using the product, their goals of using the product, and their expectations. This information can be obtained from the business analysts who would have collected it through polls, surveys, interviews, etc. Once this information is obtained, test team needs to analyze the expectations for implicit things and identify the gaps in the requirement specification against the target audience expectations. Several implicit aspects can be brought to light in the functionality of the product. When you analyze the functionality of a product, it is helpful to divide it into three areas: inputs provided to the product, software touch points like data structures, databases, file systems, etc., outputs from the product. Analyzing the inputs provided to the product and how the system would respond to the inputs is an important factor in requirements analysis, and several implicit things can be located here. For example, the requirements might have specified how the system would behave for input of integers from 1 to 10, but might have missed out how it would behave if it is provided with a 0 or a negative value. Similarly, the software touchpoints of a system, like accessing or updating a data structure, a database, or a file system, might have unintended consequences. For example, inconsistencies caused in database, file system, or internal data structures because of unintended access could be hidden in the state definitions, which need to be brought out by the test team so that they can be made as explicit requirement specifications to be tested. Similarly, the outputs generated by the system could be misused or misinterpreted, causing issues to the target audience. For example, a password or a key could be part of an URL generated by the system inadvertently in plain text, which will lead to hacking of the target user account. Impact of the output on other systems integrating to the product should also be thoroughly analyzed. So in summary, the testing team has to analyze requirements from several angles, from the business, industry, product, target audience, technology stack, functionality, etc. so that anything that is not specified explicitly is caught and made to be specified explicitly. It is important in these days of remote working that requirements be captured and properly documented. While documenting, all requirements have to be made explicit so that the entire team has the visibility to clear requirements, so that there are no assumptions or misunderstandings. By doing this, the test team would be contributing to better quality of the product. These are some tips towards addressing implicit factors in requirements and how to test them. If you have a need in your organization to analyze requirements or to come up with end-to-end test strategy, feel free to message me in Twitter at FlyVenkat, and I'll be glad to get back to you. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel to get to know about my future videos. See you soon.